Sam's not here because I've sent him off to tactics school to learn about trequartistas and false nines and corner kicks and all those kind of things. So instead we've got Francis to wade in and talk tactics ahead of the Leicester game.
So it's a pleasure to be back, lads. Let's just hope we don't have another repeat of what happened against Leicester at the start of the season, shall we? So let's touch briefly a couple of points that I picked up against Cambridge. I'm sure everyone out there, full-time Devil fans, noticed the same thing. First and foremost, Valencia. We don't know whether he's just had leg day the day before or he just has got lead in his boots because his crosses are absolutely awful. So what's been happening against Cambridge is United found themselves a lot in their attacking third, but making crosses from these areas without really penetrating their back line. Valencia would try and whip them in. It would either hit the first man or he'd whip it right away back across and just no one is on the end of it. There's no purpose on their crosses, and Valencia for me hasn't cut it as a Man United player attacking wise in a while. I think he does an okay job at right back, so they need to switch something up to try and get more attacking ability in that final third, especially against Leicester. Another point I want to bring up briefly is the one moment of success that they nearly had was Falcao's goal, and what happened is when the ball was picked up in this area, bear with me, I know this is Blint's number, but it was actually Michael Carrick who picked it up, and just straight away Falcao made a direct run right in this area and just a straight ball through Carrick, through ball. They finally found the triangle button on FIFA and were able to play it for him to run through the gap. Falcao almost scored. It was a great save. They have to be more direct. Switch it up. If you watch Real Madrid, they don't stick to that ticky-tacky stuff in the final third all the time. Especially against Espanyol, I noted, after they struggled against Atletico Madrid, Gareth Bale just whipped in this long ball against Espanyol into the back post. Ronaldo knocked it back and Benzema scored. It's about varying your passes, and Manchester United need to do that more often. So let's look at minor changes we can make against Leicester coming up. So we know Leicester at the bottom of the league had a good result against Tottenham, but also struggled against Stoke. And the reason why they struggle a lot is because they leave this massive gap between their defenders and their midfielders, especially their holding mid. So if you look here, what happens when Leicester push forward is that their attacking players, stay up high. Their two midfielders don't cover in time, and there's this massive gap in here because their defenders backtrack into your own box. If they watch their goal against Stoke, Bojan picked it up in a nice deep area, and the Leicester defenders just kept dropping. So it creates this massive hole between their defensive line and their midfield line. And they don't have any idea of where the line of confrontation is. The line of confrontation is when defenders step to win the ball. Leicester don't seem to have that. They just let themselves drop into their own box, and this will allow for players like Wayne Rooney and Van Persie in these areas to pick up the ball in deeper areas, make some runs, play Van Persie on the last man. I keep saying this, he's not the same striker he was before. Play him on the last man, and what I would do, kick Valencia out and play Herrera. Herrera needs to come in there because he's fast in the final third. He moves the ball quick. Put him up there. You can toy with the idea of playing Mata along with Herrera, Blin and Di Maria all in the midfield, or you can bring in Fellaini, whatever you see fit. But I'd go with a Rooney and Van Persie partnership. Try and get that back going. Try and get them clicking. Have Rooney drop a little bit deeper, but you're going to find a lot of space in this area. So if you get the likes of Di Maria, Herrera and Rooney up there with Van Persie in that area, you're going to cause so much damage. So what happens is you get someone like Herrera in the final third in that gap, and he'll make passes quickly. He won't steady on the ball, which happened against Cambridge. They spent far too much time trying to pick their passes. Need to be more direct, go to goal and get back on the score sheet because I'm not scoring enough goals at the moment. So that's what I would go with. My lineup for me, it would be a lineup of Dele Blin in the middle of midfield with Mata, play Di Maria slightly to the left, Herrera just up a little bit to the right, but have them interchange, and obviously have Wayne Rooney and Van Persie up top. That's my lineup. That's what I think they should do. Minor tips that they should do against Leicester to change. Let's hope they get a win. Thanks for having me back on again, lads. Make sure to subscribe to TYT Sports.
Tell me about it, Francis. I was going to say the exact same thing about tactics. So, Francis will be joining us again next week, but in the meantime, leave a comment below. Make sure you subscribe to Full Time Devils.